Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mediocre Trader here, and in this video we're going to be talking about Webull stock. But before we get to talking about Webull stock, I just want to say I'm happy to have you guys back here. I'm sorry I haven't been around too much. I've been dealing with some of my own family issues, and it is what it is. But I'm going to start making some videos. Those of you who are in the Discord, you already know that we've been talking about Webull stock. We've been talking about BBAI, Big Bear. We've been talking about Aspen aerogels. You know, we've been talking about Hood. We have a bunch of things that we talk about in our Discord. But this video is going to be about Webull. So let's get into the video. All right, here we go. We got our chart up here, a Webull chart. So as you can see here, we got a doji here on Friday. But let's scroll back here. I want to talk about this back here first. So as you can see, back on 7/24/2025, we ran up to $18.32. We pulled back, ran back up, and we have this base here around 1550 area. And then we ran up again, and we got to 1707 and pulled back. We set a base back down here around, I'd say, 1315 area. You know, bounced off of this a bit, which we had some support over here, nice support area. Here we are. We're on the move back up again. So our 1550 area is going to act as a resistance level, right? This line here is going to act as some resistance. We're going to be beaten off of that. How long, I don't know, but I would expect we're going to get a move up before Q3 based on Q2 earnings. Q2 earnings, they were talking about growth for the third quarter, and we should see some growth with all the new options, you know, that they're opening up in other markets. They're opening up options chain in other markets. They're opening up crypto in other markets. You know, Australia got crypto opened up. Canada, you know, the majority of Canadians are using Webull as their number one platform. So the difference between Webull and Hood, in my opinion, is Hood is US based only. Webull is worldwide, has the potential for more growth. They have a really good trading platform, which I don't use. I use Thinkorswim, obviously, but I do have a Webull account, and you know, I do have people in my Discord who trade on Webull. And so I you know, I use both. I think that Webull's trading platform is pretty good. It's probably one of the better ones out there on the market, but I prefer Thinkorswim. That's just my preference. And but I think as far as charting goes, Webull has beautiful charting, where Robinhood doesn't have any of that. So I think Webull has an advantage over Robinhood, and Robinhood is trading, you know, over $100. Is doing well. So I think the potential for Webull is there, but we got to keep getting that growth. That growth has got to keep coming, and I think it will. So I would expect that we get a move back up here based off our Q3 earnings. So we got a little time before that happens, but I think that's what this move is starting right here. And so if you look right here, we got the 1348 going to cross here, and you got our MACD down here. And that's crossing over the zero line. It's bullish. You got our vortex indicator right here. Its mouth is wide open. It's ready to go. And then, you know, your RSI, your relative strength. We got room to grow here on the relative strength. It's going to come up. So maybe we bust through this easily. Maybe we get some resistance and we come back and we test it a few times. That's very possible. So let's see what the 4 hour looks like. and we'll go from there. See what that's looking like here. Same thing. We got room to grow on the RSI here. We got our MACD is still pointing up. It's looking good. We got a nice gap between the MACD and the signal. And we got our vortex indicator is still opened up here. So, I mean, the indicators there all look good. We're well above the 13 here. You know, we're above the 200. The 200's right here. You're above you got them all right here. 13, 48, 200. Clear uptrend. You know, this is a clear uptrend right here on the 4-hour. So let's go back to the daily. You know, we do have our overhead resistance right here at 1550, but, you know, we're going to get up there and test it and see what happens. Let's go check the daily again to see what that's looking like as far as some other things. Yeah, again, we're above the 200 here as well. 1348 crossing. I'm pretty bullish on this. We'll see what happens this week. Let's take a quick look at some options, premiums, see what they're at right now, and go from there. Let's see. So if you had some shares and you wanted to sell covered calls, right now, if you sold 1550s, 1550s will pay you 70 cents a share for next Friday. That's a nice number. 16s will pay you 55 cents per share, expiring next Friday. 1650s, they'll pay you 44 cents. 17s will pay you 35 cents. So our implied volatility is well over 100 on each one of these. So the premiums on these are extremely good. And I would say that we're probably going to continue an upward trend. And on the put side, they're not so bad either. I mean, implied volatility is over 100 on all of these. You could sell 13s and make 10 cents. 1350s will get you 18 cents. 14s will get you 32 cents. So if you want to sell cash secured puts, I mean, things are looking good over here. 1450s, you can get 50 cents. 15s will pay you 75. So, I mean, these all expire on Friday. So Webull, there's some volatility here. These are the types of plays that I like. I'm bullish on Webull because of the future. Now, there's some downside to it. The downside could be, you know, you have investors who just got the okay to sell some shares into the market. So if they want to take some profits, they more than likely can do that if they so choose. You know, and Webull does have the ability to dilute if they have an opportunity or need to do so. All right. Before we close out this video, let's talk about Webull on stock analysis, because this is how we started this video. So right now we're trading at, we closed at 15.16, which we talked about earlier. Financials right here. Revenue growth year over year is up 26.52%, and I'm expecting it to continue on that trend. That's where we're at with that. And then the past couple weeks, we just got 2 new analyst price targets. We got a price target from Rosenbolt, Chris here, and we got Northern Capital Markets, Mike. One says strong buy with a price target of 19, and the other says it's a buy with an $18 price target. Now, I'm not expecting this to happen overnight. It's going to take time, but I'm of the settlement that they're probably right. I'm thinking, you know, that we can see this within the next year or so, this price target, and I would imagine that we would fluctuate in this range. So we're going to keep going up, testing, coming back. I imagine that would probably be the case. So with that, thanks for watching.